Good morning, Pineview Patriots. Today is a wonderful, wondering Wednesday, October 13th. September 15th to October 15th is Hispanic Heritage Month. This is a time when we learn about the rich cultures and history of Americans whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central America, and South America. Today we focus on sports and games. We talked to Coach Rodriguez to help us learn more about her experience with sports and games in Puerto Rico, where she grew up. Check it out.
Hey, good morning. I'm Coach Turman here. Coach Rodriguez here. We are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. So, who better to talk about it than Coach Rodriguez? Coach, I understand that you grew up in Puerto Rico. Can you tell us a little bit about Puerto Rico?
Well, Puerto Rico is a beautiful island. There's a lot of good people. They are so lovely. They have different cultural activities.
And tell us about the palm tree you're standing next to. Didn't you say that was one of your symbols?
Yes, we love the palm trees. We love the coconuts, and that is one of the traditional fruits in Puerto Rico, and we love it.
Yes, coconuts. Who doesn't love a coconut? All right, so speaking of food, when we go to the cafeteria here at Pineview Elementary, most of our students bring lunch like peanut butter and jelly or something like that, but in Puerto Rico, what do they have for lunch at school?
They have rice and beans, chicken, fruits, salads, vegetables, milk.
And Roberto Clemente, a very, very famous baseball player from Puerto Rico. And don't they have a national holiday for him?
Yes, it's on September, and the people, I think it's on September 15th, and the people in Puerto Rico, that day, they wear the 21 on their shirts.
And he was a great, great baseball player. And what other sports are big in Puerto Rico?
Baseball, basketball, and boxing.
That is fantastic. So, thank you for the interview, and would you like to just say a little bit in Spanish, maybe how great Pineview Elementary is?
Yes. Me encanta estar aquí en Pineview Elementary School. Ha sido una experiencia grata y muy bonita, y que disfruten.
Thanks, Coach Rodriguez. It's great to get to know you and Puerto Rico a little better. Today is also Wondering Wednesday. This week we have a new question. Take it away, Miss Greco.
Hey Patriots, Miss Greco here with our next episode of Wondering Wednesday. So 2 weeks ago, I challenged you with the question that Alex had, which was, how does the United States make money? And many of you found out that the United States makes money in the federal government. So there is a division of the federal government that's called the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, and they are responsible for physically making the money. So they actually have artists that work there who develop these designs for the dollar bills and for coins, and they use the theme of portraying that the country has strength, or that images that would represent showing that the United States is strong. If you're into art and you like to draw, it could be a future career where you get to make one of the designs on the dollar bill. How cool would that be? So this week's Wondering Wednesday kind of connects to Science Palooza week last week and our week about engineering. So let me introduce you to our topic and give you a little bit of information to see what the question for this week is going to be.
See how the car just hangs there before going over the cliff? Are you getting a little nervous? Dive coasters like Valraven are special types of steel roller coasters that drop straight down in a free fall like this. Whoa, that's a huge drop. It's amazing how roller coaster tracks can twist in all sorts of different shapes. Like, check this one out. This is the Incredible Hulk coaster at Islands of Adventure in Florida. It has 2 loops and 2 corkscrews. A corkscrew is when the roller coaster twirls you around like this. And check this one out. If you're the kind of person that really likes loops and corkscrews, you would love the steel curtain. It flips you upside down an incredible 9 times. Think about that for a second. When you tip something upside down, like a bowl of cereal or a cup of water, what happens to it? It all spills out, right? That's because of the force of gravity, something you've probably heard of. Gravity pulls everything down towards the earth, like all those Cheerios you just dumped all over the floor. So if you're going upside down 9 times, like on the steel curtain, how do you not fall out? I mean, you're hanging upside down. Shouldn't gravity be pulling you out of the car? Before we go on, I'm curious. What do you think? Why don't people fall out of roller coasters when they go upside down?
All right, Patriots, what did you think? Roller coasters? Does that sound like something exciting to inquire into this time around? I think so too. So the question I have for you today, and that you will work on for the next 2 weeks, is why do we not fall out of roller coasters? And don't just tell me that it's because we're wearing the security bar that holds us in place, because there's way more science behind it than that. So I really want you to use a source and try to figure out why we don't fall out of roller coasters. Why, when we're going upside down on those roller coasters, or we're sliding down those steep hills, that our bodies are not coming out of the car, of the roller coaster. Remember that you need to use a source to find the answer to your question. Those sources can be something online. It can be a source that is a book. It can also be a source that is an expert. Hey, maybe in the next 2 weeks you're going to Busch Gardens and you can find an expert at Busch Gardens to ask a question to. Don't forget to let me know if you have a Wondering Wednesday question that I can use for a future episode. Have a great day, Patriots. Keep wondering.
Thanks, Miss Greco. Get researching, get those answers to Mrs. Greco, and don't forget to cite your source. Let's check out what's for lunch today. Today we're having PB&J to-go box, a smoothie combo, or a chicken patty on a bun. Vegetable and fruit choices are Popeye side salad, sweet savory fries, fresh sliced apples, pineapple bites, or juice. And don't forget your milk and utensils. Let's talk birthdays. Happy birthday today to Paisley G. in Mrs. Grice's class and Layla W. in Miss Bunce's class. Happy birthday! Remember, morning mile is tomorrow. It's the last day of the week to get those miles in.
Hello, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Foyle here, and I'm here to tell you about the results of the September reading calendar. They are in, and I will be handing out your prizes this week when you come to the Media Center. Kindergarten through 2nd grade will get to choose a nice pencil. If you're in 3rd to 5th grade, I have some really cool bookmarks that you can choose from. And I have a couple shout outs this month to those classrooms that have a lot of students reading. Miss Visano's 3rd grade class gets a shout out because they had 16 students read this month. Miss Opit's 4th grade class gets a shout out because they had 15 students read this month. And Mrs. Grice's kindergarten class gets a shout out because they had 12 students reading this month. But I have an extra special shout out, and that goes to Mrs. Epifanio's 3rd grade class. They had 100% participations, and that means everyone in their class read this month. They're going to get their very own extra special brag tag from me just for their class. So let's see if in October anyone else can have 100% participation, and you'll get a special prize from me too. Your October calendar looks like this, so make sure you're filling it out every day. Happy reading!
Well, that wraps up our news show for today. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Then please be seated for a moment of silence before the end of our show. Have a wonderful Wondering Wednesday, Patriots. Thank goodness our news crew peeps will be back on tomorrow. Remember, we are living the questions by feeding our passions and exploring our wonders. Bye!